It's Rocker's Beer Review, and today we're going to be reviewing this beer from Polly's and also a classic rock album. Get ready to rock. Back to Rocker's Beer Review. As I said from the intro, we're going to be reviewing not only this fantastic looking, certainly looking artwork on a Polly's Hazy Definition Pale Ale, but also we're going to be doing a rock review. And today's rock review is from a band, one of my favourite bands, probably not their best album though. However, this band is called Winger, and the album's In the Heart of the Young, and it came out 30 years ago. So, let's do the review first, shall we? In the Heart of the Young. Now, I suppose I have to start at the beginning of this review to actually defend this band because they get a really bad reputation of being a bit of a hair metal band of the late 80s. And I admit I'm not really helping the argument for this band, because this album that I'm going to review today is probably not their strongest album, and it's probably the most pop metal of all their albums. But because it came out 30 years ago, it was released on the 24th of July 1990. So at the time of review, that's pretty much 30 years ago. And I think it's a good time to review. So, although it came out in 1990, it's not an 80s album as such, but it certainly sounds like one. It was released at a time when music was changing. The 80s was obviously over in 1990. Hair and rock and metal was sort of starting to dwindle, and it was mainly because of, certainly in the hair metal genre, there was a lot of clone bands that were being signed, and they all started sounding the same. Nirvana and the grunge sort of movement, though, was still a year away, so 1990 was very much a transitional year. But it was also a time where bands were getting heavier and harder sounding. I mean, July 24th, 1990, Cowboys from Hell by Pantera was released. So on the same day as this. So you can see that this album was probably going to struggle within that sort of time for that genre of music. However, it's still pretty successful. In the Heart of the Young was a platinum selling album in America, and it had 3 top 40 singles. So, Winger. I think that they're a lot better than their portrayal from the likes of Beavis and Butthead, and in that Metallica video. Their image, I think, sort of got in the way of the fact they were really, really great musicians. I mean, look at these guys. Look at them. They're like really good-looking guys, but they're very, very glammed up. They're led by singer and bass player Kip Winger. And his look sort of did propel them into multi-platinum selling album status. So you got Reb Beach also on guitars, Rod Modkinson on drums, and Paul Taylor on second guitar and keyboards. So In the Heart of the Young was their second album. A lot of the sort of production, it was all very, very sort of turned to syrup, in terms of the production, very overproduced, lots of big sort of keyboards. The drums are a little bit lost in the sort of sound mix. But you got some really good straight ahead rockers like Can't Get Enough and Easy Come, Easy Go. And then there's sort of big ballads like Miles Away and Under One Condition. And there's some really good hidden gems in this album. Certainly the title track, In the Heart of the Young, and also probably my favourite song, not only off the album but probably by Winger, Rainbow in the Rose. It sort of showed some of their sort of more progressive sort of elements, and they, that didn't really need to sort of, they weren't in the same sort of genre as bands like Poison and Warren, that's bands like that. And I think that's the problem, their reputation, their looks got the better of them. So other songs, there's a couple you should really avoid. Dirty Little Blonde, I mean, the lyrics sound pretty bad just from the title, but they're actually worse in the whole song. And then Baptized by Fire actually has Kip Winger rapping. Now, you will skip these tracks. Now, I don't really, there's a lot of other sort of straight ahead rockers, sort of mid-pace sort of songs as well. I think if you like hair metal though, or if you like that sort of genre, your Motley Crues, your Skid Rows, there's a lot to like with Winger. They are really, really great musicians. Kip Winger is an amazing vocalist, and Reb Beach is another guitar hero in waiting, really. there's probably not a better guitarist in that sort of genre of music. Certainly way ahead of the likes of, the guitarists in Poison, Brittany Fox, Warrant. So it sounds like, okay, this album may have not got a great recommendation by me, but it's worth listening because of the time. For me, though, the best Winger album is Karma, which has come out, which is a fairly recent album, and also Paul, which was the album that came after this, but really got lost in the whole sort of grunge music scene. Winger are a band that you should give a listen to. I think they get a bad reputation, and I think that they have a lot more to offer. If you can look beyond their glitzy looks and the overproduction of some of their sort of albums, they've got some real great songs on there, and their musicianship is actually second to none. So there's my review of Winger in the Heart of the Young. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want any more rock reviews, then let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can review them. We've got some reviews coming up. Just a little teaser for you. We're going to be doing reviews for bands like Rush, The Scorpions, Dream Theater, and also Kingdom Come. So they're the next 4 rock reviews that we're going to be doing, so keep an eye out for them. Right, now for the beer. Okay, so we're reviewing this one by Polly's, and again, absolute fabulous artwork. I think that this is probably one of the best looking artworks on a can that I've seen today. I'm not exactly sure what it means. It's called Hazy Definition. It's a pale ale. We've got Citra, Columbus, and Mosaic hops. There's also some oats in there as well, and it comes in at 5.7%. It says, well, it actually doesn't say anything else. Obviously, Polly's, based in Mould in North Wales, not a million miles from me here in Chester. Let's get this beer out the can into a glass, shall we? And see if it can keep up the very, very high level of quality that we expect from a Polly's beer. So it's pouring, and you can see already you've got that very sort of hazy yellow sort of colour. And again, I have to say this, but with Polly's, I don't know what magic they do with their cans, but as soon as you open the can, even though this beer, you can see how far it is from my nose, but I am getting so many really strong tropical aromas, and I think that's one of the great things. And I know I could probably blind test a Polly's beer just by someone opening a can near me, because it's so you get the aroma so quickly. So what have we got here? Well, we've got a yellow, we've got a two maybe 3 finger head there. It's a hazy. You've got, you can see little bubbles here at the bottom here, but it's fairly slow levels of carbonation. It's got a white fluffy head, fairly tightly compacted bubbles there. Let's get some real close-up aromas now. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of those sort of tropical notes. There's a lot of grapefruit, mango, pineapple. Very sort of strong there in terms of the aromas. A little bit of citrus, but for me, the grapefruit is the big aroma with this beer. So, with the aromas as strong as they are and sort of filling the room already, my mouth is starting to water and I'm starting to realising how thirsty I am. So let's get this down, shall we? Cheers, everyone. As to be expected, it's a real juice bomb. Lots and lots of very fresh, juicy flavours. You get that pineapple, mango, and passion fruit, and then you get quite a lot of grapefruit, and it's really dry. Again, it's pulling the moisture out of my mouth, making me willing me almost to take another sip. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's got a nice sharpness at the back end as well. Grapefruit is quite strong there, but I say it's strong, but it's not like tart and really sort of makes you go like that. It's a smooth grapefruit. It is what I would, I think I've said it more than once on a video. That pink grapefruit, a little bit more, has the grapefruit taste, but doesn't have that sort of real sharpness. It's really nice. Mouthfeel, Again, fairly low levels of carbonation. Not, I wouldn't say it's really soft. It's obviously it's a pale ale, so usually you get more crispness with a pale ale than you do with, say, an IPA. Obviously, there are some oats in that as well, just to give it a bit more, give the beer a bit more body. And it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna have one more sip and give you a few more comments. Yeah, it's really nice. Polly's have done it again. There are one or two. At the moment, I'm thinking Verdant, Daya, and Polly's are the sort of more consistent out of all the breweries. You know that if you go and look at whether it's in a bottle shop or online or even on Polly's website direct, you know that you can just sort of literally, just put your finger on one of their beers and you know it's going to be pretty good. Obviously, some of them have got difference. You can get some real high alcohol sort of double IPAs and triple IPAs even, but you can get these pale ales. They even do a couple of sours as well. This is just really nice. It's easy drinking. It's really fresh in terms of the fruitiness of it, and really great. I think it's time for some scores. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for this beautifully designed can of Polly's Hazy Definition. It's in a 440ml can, pale ale, coming in at 5 point... Well, I've lost the alcohol of it now. I think it's 5.7. 5.7, you're right, 5.7. And let's go with the aroma. This has got a lovely aroma. True trademark of a Polly's. Open the can, the aroma sort of hit the room before you even got a chance to put your nose to the either to the can or the glass. So aroma rate's pretty high. I'm giving it a 15 out of 20. Nice tropical notes there. Appearance. It's a cracking looking pale ale there. Lovely lace in the glass. That head has stayed pretty much all the way down the glass as we've drank it. Beautiful yellow haziness. Nice softness of carbonation there. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour. Really juicy, as you would expect from a Polly's. Nice and fresh. You've got that sort of mango and passion fruit, bit of pineapple, a little bit of citrus there, and then you've got that sort of dryness and that sort of little sharpness of grapefruit there on the back end. But it's quite a nice. It's not overly overpowering in grapefruit flavours, and it's really nice. I really enjoyed that. So I'm giving it a 34 out of 40 for flavour. Value for money, this was coming at £4.40 for a can. It's a 440ml can. But there's lots going on. There's lots of flavour and lots of juice and aromas there. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 for value for money. And then overall experience, well, it's a lovely beer. What more can I say about it? It's exactly what you would expect from a really good quality craft beer. It's easy to drink. It's fresh. It's not overly bitter. It's got a nice mouthfeel. Everything's going for it really. It's difficult to really sort of suggest. I think the thing is with Polly's is that you need to, because they've got such a high level, you taste one and you think, is this going to be better than the next one? And they're all good. They're all on that sort of plateau. But I'm giving it a 15 out of 20 for overall experience. And we top those scores up and we are getting another great score for this one. It's an 81 out of 100. It's an Iron Maiden. It is a great beer, highly recommended. And if you like beer, you'll like Polly's and you'll like this Hazy Definition. So, until the next review, keep on rocking.